Hi, my name is Ada Wells. Welcome to ProBalance Physical Therapy and Pilates here in Alameda, California. And what I'd like to do is show you a great exercise called the Marriage Proposal Lunge that was developed by Sherri Betz from Polestar, and it's something that we will use as a screening tool but also as a great exercise. So one of the things that is a very important functional activity is to be able to get up and down off the floor, to be able to do a simple lunge. One of the things that drives me nuts is watching people doing the walking lunges with horrible form and they wonder why their knee hurts. So what I want to do is really go through and break down the mechanics so that you have something to work on. If you can't do the full lunge, it's not like, no, you don't ever get to do a lunge. It's just that you're going to work on the components of them, master those, and eventually you'll get to the large movement. So the first part of the movement is just taking the step, okay? Now, if you take too short of a step, the problem is going to be when you're going down into your lunge, your knee is going to go over your toe, which is going to really place your knee in a biomechanically not so great position. Okay, so you want to take a large enough step so that when you go forward, our back leg is going to be in what I call our little imaginary stiletto heel. But when you come down into your lunge, ideally we have a vertical orientation of our femur and also a 90-degree angle here at the opposite leg. Okay, so that's the first part, is can you take that step and then be able to nail it. Okay. Now, you might need to hold on to a chair, or you might need to hold on to a golf club, a dowel, or something so that it helps you with your balance. Now, when you're doing this, you want to watch that your pelvis just doesn't go wherever it wants to. You do want to maintain that neutral pelvis position, and when we end up back here, we ideally would like to have that back leg a little bit straighter. Okay? So now from here, if you've got it at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to then go back onto your heel, and then back up into your stiletto. And once again, nothing else changes here at the pelvis. This stays steady, but what you want to do is just move back and forth. So you're getting that stretch into the ankle. Now what we're watching for here, let me just move forward here a minute, is that when you're going back, you want to watch that you're not just collapsing this way. So a lot of times when people are tight in the ankles, you'll see them kind of come over here, and the problem is you're going to push into pronation, which then places your lower extremity in a not so great position. So you want to try to go back and keep that perpendicular, that straight orientation of your foot as you're going up and down. Okay, so you'll do that about 4 or 5 times. Get back out here into my position, and then from there, once again, if everything is still in its neutral position, all we're going to do is we're going to release the hip and then straighten. Release and straighten. Now nothing has changed. I'm still the same height. All I'm doing is working on that release and straightening. So what we're doing is we're getting used to the fact that when we go down into that squat, we're going to have to release at the front here, okay? But also being able to feel the glutes as you're coming back up, okay? So then we'll do it on the opposite hip. It's going to be a release and straighten. And once again, there's not going to be any movement in height. I'm going to stay the same height. I'm going to watch it that my ribs stay on top of my pelvis. And you do that about 4 or 5 times, okay? From here, we can go ahead and just go into a small, just very small squat. Now what we're doing here is we're releasing at both places. So we're just doing exactly what we just did on a single leg, and we're doing it at both places, okay? As you get good there, you can go a little further, more into a half squat. You can go down into 3/4, and then eventually get all the way down where you can touch and come back up. Now what you want to watch on that is that when you're coming back up, you want to think about your 2 thigh bones. As they're coming back up, they're really drawing together so that there is an up motion, and that's going to be able to distribute the forces between the 2 legs so you don't feel like you're taking it all out of your knee. So just from a front view here, as we go forward, what you want to do is you're coming down, we're watching, and you can see the stripe here on my pants. So we don't want to see the leg go down like this. This would not be good for it. Okay, so we want to make sure that that stays as level as possible. So as we go down, we're really releasing from both hips, keeping that level, and then as we come back up, it stays level so you don't have a lot of moving around and then coming up. Okay, so I hope you can work on that and make sure obviously do it on the other side. And like I said, feel free to use anything you need to hold on to, and make sure that there's no pain, because the no pain, no gain thing doesn't work here. You want to make sure it's pain-free, do what you can do, and eventually, hopefully you'll be able to do the full lunge. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.